Hi guys, welcome. This is a continuation with the children's storytelling session, and the book we've been talking about was Odragba's Legend, and we did part 1, part 2, part 3. Now it is part 4. Okay, so just a quick recap. Part 1, the story is basically about okay, let me just give a quick overview of part 1. Probably I should welcome you guys. Welcome if this is your first time here. Good to see you and hope to see you again. This is basically a storytelling channel and book reviews, and most of the books that I write are mainly children's books, poems, of course, and regular novels. Okay, but I've decided that every time I'm telling stories for, I guess, regular for everybody, I also want to, give some reviews on some of the children's books. The stories are actually interesting, so you don't really have to be a kid to listen to those stories. Okay, all right. So in part 1 of Odragba's Legend, it's just a story of a girl that she was like really cute, really loved by everybody, of course, except her friends. They were supposed to attend an event, a ball at the palace, and some of her friends, of course, didn't want her to attend because she did attend a lot of beauty pageants in her village, and she's the one that, she basically won most of them. So they are trying to find a way to, of course, get rid of her so that she doesn't make it to that event, so that the prince doesn't choose her. And of course, in part 1, the friends, planned to basically delete or kill her by drowning. And then in part 2, Odragba was actually rescued by a fisherman, and the fisherman had to build a cupboard and sell her. And guess who the buyer was? The buyer was actually the prince, but of course she didn't know the buyer is the prince. Of course, the prince had gone to a different, city for a business contract, and she was there just in a short while, and that's how she ended up buying the cupboard that the fisherman made. And the plan was they made the cupboard a kitchen cupboard, which was a little bit big enough that looked like a storage, so they would hide Odragba inside the cupboard so that whoever buys the cupboard, she will be inside there. Of course, she will later, I guess, introduce herself, but say, I'm here. So hopefully that family will then, of course, find her funds so that she can go back to the village. And that is because the fisherman was too poor, I guess, to help her or save enough money for her to go back to her village. And then, of course, in part 3, the prince, of course, Jirimo, and his best friend Lagu were able to find out that, oh my God, who's this girl? Of course, at first the prince will come home and he'll find that someone cooked, someone cleaned, someone did the laundry, but then he could not find the person, because every time Odragba will finish with her chores, she'll go shower, go by the window, comb her hair, and then return. She was just continue to hide inside the cupboard instead of actually saying that, guys, I'm here, right? And of course, one day as she was combing her hair by the window, Lagu, who is the prince's friend, who by the way doesn't know the prince is a prince, saw someone at the prince's house, and he's like, dude, when he went back to work, he's like, dude, you didn't tell us that you are, you have a beautiful lady. Then he's like, no, don't joke, man, I don't have anybody and all that. So it's like, no, I saw someone by your window, right? And that's why they had to plan and come home early to see if they can catch whoever it is. And of course, one day they got home, Odragba had finished all her chores, she was in the shower. And then when they got into the house, they saw, oh wow, the food is ready, the house is clean and all that. But oh, listen, there is someone in the shower. And that's how they found out that there is someone in the house. And of course, when Odragba got out of the shower, he saw them and he was so shocked that he fainted. And when he got back to conscious, she got out of consciousness, and that's when she had to tell them what really transpired, how she left her village, how her friends wanted to drown her, and she was saved by a fisherman who now built a cupboard and sold her and told them the whole story. And of course, they didn't want to believe the story until they spoke to the fisherman. And of course, Odragba continued to stay in that house until they got very fond with each other, with the prince and all that. And then one day the prince told her that, by the way, I think I need to marry you, but actually my contract is finished, so I'm going back to my village. I can give you a ride if you want. And she's like, yeah, sure, you can drop me off. And then the prince asked what village she was from. She said she was from Mundri. And then the prince said, okay, I can drop you off, but I also want to talk to your mom. So my proposal still stands. You're still okay with that? She's like, yeah. In her mind, Odragba was agreeing to, I guess, accept this Jirimo's proposal because she doesn't want to deal with her friends anymore. She doesn't want to hear another story of people trying to get rid of her, so that, you know, to prevent her from attending any ball at the palace. So she just wanted to at least get engaged to somebody so that her friends will, you know, leave her alone. So of course, when they got home, Jirimo, of course, spoke to the mom and all that. And she ended up, of course, going to the palace. They had a huge party, an engagement party and all that. And guess what? Her friends were not happy. So they decided that in part 4, Odragba's Legend part 4, they need a plan. They said, you know what? We still need to get rid of this girl. We still have chance with the prince because they're only engaged. It is not like he's married to her, right? So they say, you know, we still need a plan to get rid of this girl. All right, in part 4, because in part 4, there are a few developments. Some of the development is, remember in part 1, Odragba lost her dad. In part 4, Odragba's mom had married another guy, a lovely guy. The only problem is because Odragba and her mom are very close, so the stepdad could not stand her. And based on their culture, this is just a sample image of Odragba. She's all grown. So based on their culture, even though you are engaged to someone, you cannot stay in the person's house, or you guys cannot move in together until the marriage rite is completed. Okay? So now the friends are planning other ways of, you know, getting rid of her. But they were also lucky because they were like, wow, so Odragba's stepdad doesn't like her. So maybe we can capitalize on that. So the plan was, there's one of the rivers in their village. That river, you cannot go there at night. And because the route to the river goes through an evil forest. So basically, nobody, it's basically by law in that village, no one goes to the river at night. So they made a plan that the stepdad to send Odragba to the river at night, because the stepdad now, not even the friends, the stepdad now even want to get rid of Odragba because he feels that Odragba is very close with her mom, so that, you know, when Odragba is out of the picture, then he will have all the time with his wife. I hope not all stepdads are like that. Anyways, so of course, Odragba begged the stepdad that she didn't want to go, it's too late. The stepdad insisted, you're going to go. So she decided to pray. This is just a sample image of Odragba, you know, trying to pray before she goes to that river. So anyways, when the stepdad insisted, she said, okay, that's no problem. You want me to go to the river? I'll go. So Odragba went to her friends. It's like, listen guys, Kezia, the Samiras and them, can you guys escort me to the river? My stepdad is sending me right now. And it's very dangerous. By law, we are not allowed in this village to go to that river at night because of the evil forest. And then they pretended, they were actually happy that, yes, this girl is going and she's not coming back. They told Odragba, you know what, we cannot really help you. You know, it is very late. They made, you know, it is forbidden for anybody to go, so we cannot really help you. You know, they pretended to be really crying. crying that, you know what, because Odragba might go and not come back. So anyways, Odragba left them and she proceeded to go to the evil forest. Okay.